Okay, hey everyone, it's Michael Valtos, and this is the Orderflows market analysis for June 12, 2017. And today the big movers were the tech stocks. They fell for the second day after spreading to Europe and Asia on concerns that tech stocks have just risen too far, too quick. Now, there's a lot of stories that, we got another tech bubble coming, but I'm not convinced with that. But anyway, in other news, the British pound retreated as Theresa May she's basically fighting to keep her PM position after the general election. And crude oil rose a bit. So there were some interesting things in the Nasdaq. Nasdaq was going to be a bit hard to trade just because the moves were so quick, especially on a range chart. I'll show you the range chart shortly, but it had a lot of volatility in the market, and it was kind of to be expected after all the stuff that was happening last week. So let's jump into it here. But before I do, got to go through my brief disclaimer again. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that could be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Now, again, it's going to be another interesting week, I think, on the news front. We do have Jeff Sessions, supposed to testify before the Senate on Tuesday. Later this week on Wednesday, this week you're going to, I'm in Asia right now, and Monday was a public holiday, so today sort of feels like, Tuesday feels like Monday to me. But you got a lot of central banks. You got Japan, Switzerland, and Britain policy decisions this week. You have the Fed this week as well, and it's June, right? And they're talking about a raise in June. So if it's going to happen, this is the meeting that's going to happen at. Again, this whole Jeff Sessions testimony, following the James Comey testimony, it just makes it's got my interest, not from a trading standpoint, but just from a purely entertainment standpoint. I mean, it's just getting out of hand. Just get on, let the president get on with what he's doing. S&P, though, was kind of muted. Like I said, tech stocks were down. It was down about 2.5% on Friday. They were down about just over 0.5% today. But Apple was the big loser, down 2.5%. So anyway, I'll start with Nasdaq really quick, just because that's on everybody's mind right now. Again, I don't think we're in a bubble. There's even some joker from JP Morgan, my ex bank, talking about this is just a pause, and we can't continue. But European session, it was kind of quiet. There was some decent, the way it was moving during European session was how it would normally move during the U.S. session. But once cash opened, it just went bonkers. So just going back to, we had this low here. Let's go back a bit here, because there was some interesting things here. This was about 3 in the morning Chicago time at this 57.10 level. Big support here in the market. 1,000 lots here. Boom, we get through that, and once we get through that, floodgates just open up. 57.10, 1,020 right here. Okay, was that 10 or 10.5? I can't remember now. 57.10. And we got through that. Boom, big support. And when 1,000 lots can't support the market in the Nasdaq, especially at 3 in the morning, you better watch out. Okay, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So what do? We sold off sharply, quickly. 312, 312, 314. So from 312 over the next 5 minutes, we went from 57.10. All the way down to 56, 56.94. So we had a 15 full point move in the Nasdaq, within 5 minutes, and we still weren't done. We still went lower, 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 lower. We hit this low here at 345, 56.80. Got a single print divergence. We do bounce up, get up here. This bar, point of control right at the top. You do have a bearish ratio as well. Next bar, Delta Scalper giving you a sell signal. We sell off, bounce up a little bit. At this point, we're still moving pretty quick, but not, like in fast market mode. I see a lot of zero prints here, which indicates to me there's not necessarily a lot of liquidity at this point. But I mean, it's Europe session, and it's moving pretty good already. So watch as we get into later. So you still have like I said, you got your Delta Scalper short, you got your point of control right up on the top there. It's bearish. We come down here, we get to this low here, a new low, 56.78. No divergence, no ratio. We do rally though up off that low. Quite nicely. We got all the way back up to close to 5,700. Then we bounce up again, get above 5,700. We still haven't gotten above 57.10 where that big volume was there. Then you get Delta Scalper kicking off again, and again you sell off from the 5,700 area. Down to the 56.95, 56.94 area. Start rallying again. This time it's only 4 in the morning, and look at this. We've had a terrific range already. It's just moving quite nicely. Delta Scalper, another buy here around the 57.05 level. Now we're back up to that 57.10 area here. Okay, and again, I'm going to be curious to see what we got up there. We have a doji bar, point of control in that bar right at the high. I'd be curious to see if there was going to be some more selling coming in there. I mean, before you had that buying, right? I mean, it was on the bid, right? 1,020 on the bid. I'm just curious to see what it was going to look like when we get back up there. Because you obviously had a lot of sellers at that point selling into that bid. But once that bid broke through, I said the market was just really looking for a bottom, and had it found its bottom yet at that point? No. It kept going lower, Again, I was kind of curious to see if we get back up there, if we're going to see aggressive selling coming in there. Not really. You don't really see it. You got Delta Scalper here kicking off around 57.06 area. Get back all the way up to the 12.13 area. Delta Scalper giving a nice sell here around, in this bar. We're trading 57.11. And then again, another nice, quick, sharp sell off from 57.11 down below 5,700. Nothing on this low here. It's a single print, no divergence, no ratio. Bounce back up a bit. Anyway, I said it's moving quite nicely here. Another Delta Scalper. This is already 7. Okay, now it's really starting to move very quick. I would go quick, pause, go quick, pause. Here you got 56.90. You got someone offering 1,000 there. Here you got the point of control right at the top, 172 trade there, right? Got a buying imbalance there. You've got a ratio, point of control right at the top. To me, this is very bearish. I'm looking for the market to sell off. It doesn't. It comes right back up. There's still an offer there, 56.90. Very solid offer. It gets through that. That's what scares me. It just chewed right back up through there, and we just rallied from there. So you got to watch that. But then it happened very fast. 721. This bar is still 721, 721, 722. So once we got past that, it just it jumped a quick, almost what is that? From 50, what would I say that level was? 56.90 all the way up to 50, all the way up here to 57.10 again. Delta Scalper on a green bar though. I'm not interested in it. Now coming in, let's take a look once cash opens. Let's get here to the cash. Now again Delta Scalper giving you a buy seconds before the cash open. I'm not sure I'd want to take it, especially with all the volatility in the market. But again, if you want to, you can. But make sure you got to stop in there. Cash opens, and now it's just bonkers time. 8:30. Here, where's 8:30? Right here, 8:30, 56.98 roughly. 25 seconds later, you're trading 10 points lower. That just gives you an idea of how volatile this market is at this point. We're just all over the place. New lows, 831, 56.78. So again, it's just going berserko. And again, do you have to trade at this time? No, you don't, right? You should be able to notice how fast this market's moving. if you're trading a range-based, if you're trading a minute-based charts, your chart's just all over the place. But on a range-based chart, it's putting in new bars every few seconds, which tells me that, hey, there's a lot of volatility in this market. Wait for things to settle down. And do they? Not really. Again, it's just all over the place here. A lot of volatility. I mean, people got all sorts of different perception on what the market's going to do. Here you get a nice delta scalper buy, and it fails on you within 10 seconds. It's already going against you. That's how fast this market is moving. Another delta scalper buy. This one, does go in your favor, but again, 8:36, 24 seconds. 8:36, 29 seconds is this bar. 40 seconds is here. By the time you're getting in, it's giving you a delta scalper sell. And again, it sells off a bit, but it's a market that's moving very fast, and you better be very quick if you're trading manually. And then delta scalper buy doesn't work out. We sell off. Delta scalper buy this time. This one again, you gotta be quick. 8:38 00, 8:38 4 seconds, 8:38 6 seconds, 9 seconds. So if you're fast, yeah, you could catch most of that move. But if you're not, you're there sucking wind, and then next thing you know, it's trading against you. So, anyway, I don't want to go in. There's a lot of signals this morning on an 8 range Nasdaq chart. Normally on an 8 range Nasdaq chart, on a market that's not like today, it's a lot calmer, easier to trade. But on this session, it was a bit all over the place. So anyway, then the next market I'll talk about is crude. Now, crude was very interesting this morning. Around 5:20. You hit this area here, 46, I think it was 13 or something, 46.15 rather. And this is what a stop-based stacked imbalance looks like. Here, you get up to this high, boom, you trigger a boom, all zeros, all the way up. Then you come back in over the next bar. In this bar, it really retraced almost the whole bar here before going back up. But this is what it looks like when a stop gets triggered. Everything gets the stop was here right before the high. But do I think this is a sweep in the sense that a buyer came in and said, hey, buy me 1,200 contracts? No. To me, this is what a stop looks like, and it just sort of builds on itself, and then it comes back in. Usually when a trader comes in and sweeps the entire book, 10 cents or whatever in the crude, it doesn't retrace like this. It just keeps going higher. In this case, it's a stop, buying, buy. It's all the orders are being triggered. It gets filled. Buying stops, immediately it comes back in, and then it could go back up or it could go back down. But this is what a stop-based stacked imbalance looks like. You get all the zeros, all the imbalances, and then a bit of a pullback in the next bar. As traders are trying to figure out, what just happened. Was that a stop being triggered? Was that someone coming in sweeping the book, or what? I mean, but to me, based on my experience and my experience on sweeping the book in the crude for size. When I used to work at Cargill and JP Morgan, that's what it looks like. Okay, I know that when I sweep the book in certain markets, it doesn't pull back. I used to do it regularly in cotton. I would sweep it up 50 cents, and it would never retrace because I'd be bid there. Usually, when somebody sweeps the market, they're sitting on a bid here as well. So they buy 1,000. Say they got 2,000 to buy, they sweep it up, and it's bid over at this level. So there's no chance for it to come back down. Okay, because again, a trader that's sweeping the book, they're looking at their average price on the fill. They don't give a shit about, I got 136 here, 117 here, 92 here. They know, okay, we're trading 46.14. Hey, I could buy 1,000 all the way up to 46.24. Okay, and I'll be bid there, and I know my average is going to be around 46.17 and a half. I'll do it because you know what? I just got a position, my average price 46.17 and a half, and now I'm bidding the market at 46.22. That's how they think. So anyway, that's what a stop-induced stacked imbalance looks like. So anyway, we get up to this high at 526. It's a divergence, no ratio in the next bar even. I thought this bar was kind of bullish. It just came right back on you, made a new high. Got another failed imbalance here. Got a new high up here. No divergence. Now it's starting to get interesting here. Coming off stacked imbalance. Market comes right back up. It's point of control on this bar right near the low. The stacked imbalance failed. To me, it's failed because you spent all this time above the stacked imbalance. And then start to get interesting here during the U.S. hours. A nice delta scalper buy here around the 46, 38 area, and we rally all the way up to the 60s. Actually get up to 71, a new high. Start coming out here. You get a stacked imbalance. Just sort of goes sideways. Comes off in the next bar or two, and just sort of goes sideways on you. And then you get a nice delta scalper giving you a sell here, and it sells off nicely. You get some confirmation here. Nice stacked imbalance coming in here, followed by another stacked imbalance. And down in here on the 46.12 area, so you're up here at the 46.50 area. You got a delta scalper sell, and it sells all the way down into the teens before you get another stacked delta scalper giving you a buy, and it does pop up a bit. My chart's ended strangely at 120, and so that was the crude, which was interesting. Next market I'll talk about is soybeans really quick. I thought it was interesting. I know a lot of you guys don't give a shit about soybeans, but it's a nice market to trade. It's not as volatile as some of these other. I mean, it can be volatile. I mean, we had the WASD report come out the other day, and beans were all over the place. But it's a market that if you're a trading purist, order flows does follow quite nicely. So where am I? Okay, so you got this 9 o'clock. You got stack selling and balance into low. Now I don't like taking stack selling and balances going into low. Yes, the market can go lower, but it can also be a limited move. It did go lower in the next bar by a tick, but then here you got the delta scalper giving you a nice buy right off the low. I love getting delta scalper buys off lows or delta scalper sells off highs. And here you got right off your low. Is it a 10-cent move? No, but still it's a move from 935 all the way up to the 939 area. Then you get a delta scalper sell off a nice swing high. Here you have this bar ratio bounds low, so you got some stopping volume up there. You've got point of control up here near the top, and even on this move up, you can see you're seeing some selling coming in here. 524, 193, 232, even selling into these bids. 239, 497. So you got interested sellers up here. Okay, point of control right at the top, stopping this move, capping it. Delta scalper kicking in, telling you sellers are taking over now. And what do? You start going sideways, and then boom, selling comes in, and you make new lows from this 938 area down into 931, where you get again some nice volume. Even down here, right at 933, you got 1,600 contracts. You get through that. Down here, it stops at 946. The sellers just can't take it anymore. They've capitulated. I can't sell anymore. I'm done. I sold the shit out of this. Even down here, 898, they sold 1,600, and they're selling. They're selling more, but there's still these buyers creeping in here. Bidding down here at 931 at almost 1,000 contracts, and you sort of bounce up a bit. Does come back down, tests it again, gets through it by a few ticks. Tests it again in this next bar here, and then we close for the day. Now, the last market I'll talk about today is bonds. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll throw in the 5 years just really quick. People say, oh, you're not showing the 5 years because, the system failed or whatever. It's not a trading system. It's order flow. You're reading the market. But anyway, at this low here, low of the day, 118.05. Nothing in the order flow. It's just your average low. You got the stack buying imbalance. It's a little, I'll say off the low, but because at this point you have very tight range, 118 and 118.08 and 3/4 to 118.05. So very tight range. You do have stacked imbalance. Okay, I don't want to talk about that, but we did rally up, get up to the high. Stack delta scalper given a sell right at the high, and you sell off again. My charts ended at 133, 130, about more or less. And bonds really quick. The bonds, beautiful day in the bonds if you're using order flows. And again, the ratios, I talk about this many times. You got a ratio bounds low with a divergence here at 840. And what do? You rally up to the new highs. Boom, you're taking out the highs. You got buying imbalances as you're going to the highs. That's what you like to see. At your high of the day here, 115.21, you got a ratio with a divergence again, telling you to get short, and then you sell off. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened after 130. That's where my charts ended. But still, it doesn't get any more prettier than this. This is textbook. So rally from your low on a divergence with the ratio up to your high with your divergence. If you're trading just one lot, it pays for the software, right there today. Again, it doesn't take much. Let's talk about well, let's talk about really quick. S&Ps. S&Ps again. S&Ps, nothing special today. Just a kind of a muted session. Like I said, all the action today was in the Nasdaq. Very tight range most of the morning. 24.22 high. Sorry, 24.22 was your low at 520, and your high at that point was 24.31. You did come in, make new lows. I do think S&Ps were sort of tracking Nasdaq today. You get down to this low divergence, no ratio. You do rally up off of that. You come up. You don't take out the high here, and you just start going down again. Nothing special on the 10 range. What is this? This is the Jap yen. Just go back a bit here. So Japanese yen. Okay, so just going back to the morning time. You have your high here, 714, 731. Delta Scalper giving you a sell right off your high. How many times have I shown you this in other charts today? You're right off your high, at your high, or off your high. Delta Scalper giving you a sell. That's where you want to be taking the sells. Yeah, you can take sells when they're appearing near the lows, but I find you get better moves when you're taking sell signals off highs or buy signals off lows. So here you got the high. Delta Scalper giving you the sell, and you sell off. Come back later, make new highs, get the swing low, Delta Scalper giving you a buy, and what happens? And the market just rallies again. You got a couple signals in the Japanese yen, and they're both nice signals. I mean, they're in places that you want them to be. This is the U-turn, Baltos U-turn here. This one just sort of went sideways. This one was a nice sell. And then my charts ended for the day there. And let's see if there's anything else worth discussing. Yeah, just really quick. It's not something I talk about a lot these days. Is this transition indicator? Again, this is mini Dow. It's 100 tick. Again, I'm more interested in trading it during the day session. You had one signal during the day session, and it's right here. And, it was a nice move lower, about a 30 point move down. So you got one signal, one nice trade. Again, you can only trade what the market gives you. If the market's not giving you any opportunities for buys or sells, then there's not going to be anything worth trading. I mean, you could sit there and try to read. People sometimes. One of the reasons why people struggle with order flow sometimes. Just go back to the footprint chart real quick. Is they try to read everything that's going on at once. Concentrate on one thing. Concentrate either on the Delta Scalper, concentrate on imbalances, concentrate on ratios, concentrate on stacked imbalances, concentrate on delta. These things can really help you out a lot. I said you don't have to put everything together at once, but build your foundation. Take one thing that makes sense to you and go with it, and then start adding the other pieces to the puzzle. Don't try to solve the entire puzzle all at once in one trade. You don't have to, right? You just got to wait for certain types of market conditions to occur. Right, I'll give you a perfect example. I think it was in the crude. Go back to the crude here. I don't remember. Now I'm just going off my memory. No, it wasn't in the crude. Trying to think what market it was. Give me a sec. I know I saved the chart, but just give me a second. Oh, it's the euro currency. I didn't talk about the euro currency today. But anyway, here's the euro currency. Just really quick, I'll just show you this in the euro currency, right? You're coming up to the high here. Again, this is my software draws this arrow up here when there's, when I think there's trap traders up near a high or near a low. That's what this arrow is. And, again, this gives you this sell. Okay, but there's a lot of other things going on here. Yes, you have a divergence, but just watch it. You're up here at your high. You got the negative delta, strong minus 162. The bar before at 121 positive, bar before at 159. So you sort of come up here. Overall net aggressive buying is weakening. You get up here at the high, you got negative delta. So it's telling me then the next bar, very strong negative delta, 500. So I know that all these people that were buying it up here, people talk about trap traders, but they don't really explain it. They say, oh, these people, they bought, now they got to sell. Yeah, but how's it showing it to you, right? I mean, if you could read the order flow, you could see how buying is sort of drying up here. Net delta is getting weaker, 159, 121, then minus. Negative delta at your high. Strong negative delta in the next bar, minus 500. So you know that all these people, these are weak longs that are buying it here. They're buying it thinking, hey, we're breaking out. I want to get on board. And, my moving average crosses this moving average. I got to buy it here. That's who these people are that are coming in and buying this high. But, sellers have taken over. Sellers are slamming it back in their face. Even here, there's buyers here trying to support the market, and they get slammed. And then the market sells off, right? So, again, that's more of an advanced concept of order flow, but once you start putting the pieces together, you could really understand it a bit more. Okay, so I don't know what else to say. Again, the tools that I use in this presentation are the Orderflows Trader, which is the volume footprint chart, the Delta Scalper, which I'm probably going to integrate into the next version of Orderflows Trader, because I talk about Delta Scalper a lot, and right now it's available. You could buy it separately. The reason we sell it separately is because people that want to trade on a bar chart, you can run the Delta Scalper on a normal bar chart. You don't need a footprint chart. But I was talking to my programmer. We're probably gonna make some new additions to the NT8 version of Orderflows Trader, and so we'll probably put Delta Scalper in there. So I mean, we'll probably either phase out Delta Scalper altogether. So if you don't have it, you better get on board, or otherwise you got to get it through the Orderflows Trader. It's something I use every day in my trading. I know people that have built trading systems around Delta Scalper, automated trading systems around it, and I know people that love it. So anyway, again, thanks for watching this. To learn more about the software I use in this presentation, visit my website, orderflows.com. If you're interested in the Delta Scalper, go to deltascalper.com. You could purchase it there as well. So thanks for watching this, and that's all. Bye-bye.